All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion Denver Broncos taking on the NFC champions, the Green Bay Packers. It's finally time for the main event here in 2025. Away we go. It's Super Bowl 59.
We play to win. Let's go. On the ready. 6 by 56. Not shot. Come on, QB, come on. No. 564, weak.
On first down, it's Jenkins, and he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
56. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Bravo! 56 to Muck, boy. 50
Now a give, right side. Jenkins. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
We own them. Muck 56. Muck 56. Let's go. Mike 56. Mike 56.
He'll look to throw. He'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Okay, great. Mike, 56, right there, 56. I got it. Bang!
They'll run on first down. It's Jenkins, and very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Strip that ball. 22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber. Switch gears. Ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
The 7th play now of this opening drive. This is 3rd and long, though. They'll set up to throw. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Come on, set. 18, Gator. 59. I'm coming for the son. I'm coming for the son.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's
6
go,
yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Ready. 59. Mike 59. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Blue box working. Blue box working. Check, 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 check. Check. Ready, go.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsay. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complementary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Ready, ready, ready. Check. 59, 59. Come up the ball. Delta.
On 1st and 10, Little. And this one's incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
59.
Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsay. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Ready, ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Exit.
Off play action. Little. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. After a throw here, that's complete. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
2nd and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On second down now. It's Lindsey, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though, 3rd and long. Operating from the gun, Little. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And he's got some space here. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And a great finally able to take him down. Now the try here for and he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Little. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A first throw for the backup, Wilson. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
We got to get the alpha. Mike 56, Mike 56. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up. Ready, go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
You got nothing. Check it back in. Kill, kill, kill. Lock it. Kill, kill, kill. Set, go.
They'll set up a throw. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They run the counter. Jenkins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. 90. Cool. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike 5. Mike 5. Let's go, baby. New turnover. Get that ball. Get that ball. Scene 6. Recon. 132 fight. Alert 3. Alert 3. Ready, go.
Now the man from UTEP. This is Aaron Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A Bronco first down there. 12 yards on the play.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They still playing soft. Let's go. Mark Ball. Mark Ball. Let's go, defense. Go. Mike 5. Mike 5. Go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kenny Clark breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On the ready.
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
Now Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. They'll try to draw. Lindsey looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, Little. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards, the final tally. Operating from the gun, Little. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Throwing on 1st down. Little. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Looking to throw. Little. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he had a nifty little deke juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, Little going deep for Hopkins. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation...
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Here's 2nd and 8. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
64, weak. Check.
They'll run the toss. It's Lindsey. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Lindsey. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Little, complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
Here we go. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-5 shot. I'm scared. Mike 54. Mike 54. Let's go.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need them to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard, but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this 3rd quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. He'll look to throw. Well, the pressure gets to him again. Christian Wilkins. He's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
My God. Squeeze, get in, go.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field
blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Little. He's going to air one out. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jenkins. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Ready, 60 Pittsburgh. Here we go. Do, Blue Dog's working. Delta. Low. Finds the mic. Watch the run. Pass.
Looking to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Stop your running. Kill. 80 weapon.
On 1st down, Little. Complete. It's Henry. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Set. 10 Lobo. 59.
To throw on 2nd down. Little. He'll find Lindsey here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on 4th down. On 4th down, Little. And no, it's incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Jenkins. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Switch. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. H3-2-18. Chopper. Charlie.
2nd and 13. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 3rd down, it's Jenkins, and he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Following the field goal on his Lock Edwards to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. Good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The throw over the middle taken in. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down. On 1st down, Lindsey. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They get a good chunk of that penalty yardage back. A gain of 15. 2nd down. That was huge after being behind the chains on 1st down to make this 2nd very manageable.
Yeah, how much pride do you have in an offense on 1st down to get that kind of yardage? Because it actually opens up your playbook on 2nd down. You can run it, you can throw it, you keep a defense off balance. I like that phrase, staying ahead of the chains, and they're doing exactly that.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league, totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the Super Bowl. Off the play fake. Little. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
They'll run on first down. Jenkins fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Jenkins. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Denver has the first down. The play going for 15 yards.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 38-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run the counter. Jenkins. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. Back to throw here. Fighting to stay upright. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. On after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for Denver. Great coverage there. Holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Back to the air on 2nd down. Little. And caught by Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Little. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw again. Little. He completes it to Henry. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Back to throw. Little. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Looking to throw. Little. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Looking to erase a two-score deficit here in the fourth quarter. Going for some big plays.
Yeah, they certainly were. They just decided one shot, didn't they? Forget trying to move the ball downfield in small little increments. Let's go for the big one. But how about the defense playing situational football, looking at the scoreboard, realizing what can hurt us most? The deep shot. They played it well.
Throwing on third and long. Little. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Back to throw. Little. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Hey, watch out. Check right 54. Right 54. Yep. Don't get nervous.
Operating from the gun. Little. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Little. This is caught. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They isolate Hopkins on the left side.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. 2, fellas, let's go.
From the gun. Little. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off with great anticipation. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 45.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
And the Lombardi Trophy goes west, and it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever